A 1992 mr2 window was jammed, wouldn't go up, it's just stuck down. So first we're going to take the door panel off. We're going to take this screw off here, take this black thing cover there, and then there's three or four screws under here, and then everything just pops off. Now we're going to get exposed to this. You're going to pull this plastic off. And right here is the connector for the motor. What you do is take that off and put 12 volts directly to that. One way's up, one way's in reverse it, one way's down. If the motor starts working, then it's your switch. So this, you can take this apart and double check to see if it's the switch. And a lot of times it's just the contacts in the switch. In my case, the motor was jammed up no matter which way, and it turned out that there's 4 bolts here that hold in what's called the modulator, and one of these was cracked. It had a slight crack here, and this was broken off, which caused that gear to jam up. Now the key to it is to get this out by taking these 4 bolts off, and then I end up taking the window out because I wasn't sure whether I could get this out. But to disconnect the modulator from the window, well, now mine's working again. There's there's this nut right here, and then there's a service hole right here to get to the other nut. And once you take that off, that'll disconnect the modulator, which is a scissors type thing, from the window. And then there's other 2 bolts. You have to take this off because there's a bolt here and there's another bolt right behind there, and then there's another piece of the modulator that comes out. And if you have better luck than I can, you might be able to slide that all the way out through this opening. It just folds together and comes out. I didn't do that. I ended up taking my window out, which is I had to take a lot of this and that. I took these two bolts and that to kind of move that out of the way, and I took this off, and that I just kind of moved that to the side, and I pulled the window out, and that made it a little easier to get this out. And once I got it out, I fortunately have a welder, and I welded that plate back together. So when you put it back together, if you've been dicking around with it, make sure it's all the way in the down position before you connect these back up again. And another way to when I disconnected the window is there's 2 nuts right here. I took those off. The other 2 on the right side, I didn't have to take off. I was able to slide it out. I was able to slide everything out with the bracket on the right side still on it. So I would say try to get it out with the window still in, and if you can't, try to take the window out. It's these two nuts right here, and the top hardware. Take the top hardware off. Take the window out, make it a little easier. Now when you go to put it back in, the easiest thing to do is, when you put it back in, is bolt these on first. Put that back on first. And then put that nut on there and you can move it up a little bit and try to get that bracket back on, and that other nut down there, and then this other one, this bracket right here, this goes from here to there. Save it for last. Pay attention to adjustments like these nuts right here. When I took that off, I made sure I got it just about right. And there's other adjustments here. Make sure those are in the proper position. It's really not too much other adjustments. There's maybe one here. So just kind of put it back where it is. So now I've got And now I fixed that bracket, which had jammed up that gear. And now it works again. So my suggestion is I heard that modulator costs like about $200 or $300, but in my case it didn't cost me anything to weld the cracks in it, and I weld that piece right back on. So, but if your switch is bad, you can tell by, like I said, by take this connector off right here and apply 12 volts right to that. And when you take the switch apart, they're pretty basic. There's just contacts, and just file them. I am on my 85 mr2. I just filed them, put the switch back together, and now that works both up and down. So, good luck.